These crash videos gonna be the worst on this nightmare. On January the 7th, 2017, as a Boeing 757 was going from Hawaii to Japan. No, to but the plane was delayed. So a Dash 8 Q400 was running between Texas to London. It was an express plane full of 234 passengers and 4 crew. There were 2 pilots. Soon as they moved slowly into the runway to runway 2, where they got a lift off. The plane was delayed, so that's why the planes were on a rush, because it was rush hour. And the plane about to get crowded and crowded and crowded. So this one left that fast, but it was almost full because it needed about 216 passengers inside. But some of them were not taking the flight, as flight 456 was leaving. Appeared to lift off. They need to reach 297 to lift off. But one of the tires popped off. Well, which they noticed the plane was going the wrong way. It was heading towards a forest, which they got to turn back around and head back to the airport and go the other way. But they refused to ignore where they're going. Well, it was worse. What in the cockpit? One of the engines are burning. They pushed the landing gear and braced for the impact. They were right that close to the forest where they had an upper land runway, so you get to land there. Where they were almost there towards it. They try to control as hard as they can, but it keeps turning the other way, making it go down and go back up. He put the brakes on, but the brakes burned off. They were that close and that close. They went through the clouds almost, but now they were getting close to the ground, into the waters. And now the plane struggling. Now it reveals to go the left side. So the pilot gotta turn the other side. Now they were that close towards the water at a 305 speed. One of the wheels hit the water and splashed one of the engines, and then the cockpit gets two warnings. The plane drops down at a bare speed and lifts the girl up, and then another disaster was about to happen. And then they found out where it's all about to happen. They try to control it, but the copyright on the plane was not copied. So we're heading down. The heading down will make the controls slow down, but when you go back up, it goes out of control. Then they landed. The plane flips over on its side and crashes down and heading towards a mountain going even 200 and 300 miles per hour at 299. And then a disaster about to happen. The plane exploded. A general ball of fire exploded into one of the waters. Well, this disaster leads to death as they replaced the A319 Airbuses are back on airport. They will begin on January the 14th, 2021. As the A319 had about 4 passengers, and this plane was a private plane, because the A318 was not a private plane. It used to be, but now they were replaced. And they still have those planes, but then one of those jet planes hit the back wing and leads to it. Oh snap! And then the pilot didn't know. Well, the wing in the back was never going to control the plane. But it gets any worse. Because the jet hit the plane, and now at the control tower noticed they saw it. I was telling them to stop, but there's nothing going on. But they refused to lift off before the time. That reached their speed at 189 and 188. Now he noticed, now he was right because the plane is struggling. Oh snap! We got difficulties. And then the plane crashes into the ground. It goes barely out of control. And then one of the engines popped off. And now they were straight heading towards the jet. But the jet was going. But then this way was about to get any worse. They're trying to head back to the airport as safely they can before they crash. Now they lost one of the first wheels in the back. The pilot slows the plane down into the runway. Oh great. Okay, slow. The plane slows down. And then one of the engines popped off and made the plane go out of control. And then, when it was at reach 99, the plane was still going. Until it was about to stop, it was slowing down. then it was worse. The plane slips on. He tries to control the plane, but then it barely went up in the sky, and then a disaster about to happen. He's trying to control it, but barely can control it. Now the plane is any worse. One of the pieces keeps falling off from the plane. And now they were heading towards the death. These are the two last engines they're going to survive with before the disaster happens. And then one of the pieces in the back, it gets way worse. Oh snap! We're going down, we're going down, we're going down, we're going down! He's trying to control it. And then goes barely still going down. Now the plane gotta live without it. Now they lost both of them engines. Now the plane was barely slowing down. They found the last words to survive, and they're gonna make it. They reach towards the runway as slowly as shortening into it. As surely they turned on the other side to land the plane right. And then, when they got to the gas, they slowed the plane down. Everything stops. As Airbus Flight A319 was damaged. And then, it was still moving, but until they stopped the plane, they shut off the whole plane, but it was starting moving again. Now the plane shut off. The speed goes down, but it was still moving, but now it was moving on its own. Alright, trying to slow down. And then everything stops. The Airbus Flight A319 damages. In the back of the plane, as the jet hit the wing in the back, that hit the wing in the back, it was very damaged. The piece, if that came off, the piece almost came off because the plane. Or they survived without the engine. In the front of the plane, when the plane gets air inside, it gets way worse. A319 was off private. 2 passengers died and 1 was injured and 1 survived. As the pilots survived, but one of them were injured because of the bouncy part. Well, A319 would be never back because it would be replaced. But it's never going to be replaced yet until they fix it. When you get inside the plane was very normal, but it was very damaged to the pieces. Since the 1999, So on 2019, on January the 14th, the Boeing 777 times then the Blue was the new plane as the same day as tomorrow. Tomorrow they're gonna get the new plane. It's called the times. No. It's called the 777 times the 9. That's the same thing as Blue, but it's gonna be red because they're gonna be like the same. Well, it was about 326 passengers and 5 crew, and there were about 4 pilots for today. It was a special plane with orange lights, and there's a new sign that says road planes 3 in this. The back of the plane is the word, the backpacks, and in the backpack, and they got the sleeping stuff. They got a bed, and they got a bunk bed with the bouncy on. Yeah. And the new seats are replaced as the blue and the lights so you can watch TV. You can just sit right by the window like this and look at the window. And they got the new flowers and sawishi or sushi. I don't know what it is. They got one of these sticks right here, and this is one of those ninja stuff going on. And the new doors has the green, and the inside it looks cool. So now the pilots was ready to about to be lift off. They close the doors and get ready. As the plane was very long and the wings are very long, as the plane was big. But a few moments later, the plane gets very acting weird. Ah!